Hello everyone and welcome back to DET Coach's Beginner's Guide to the Duolingo English Test. In the previous lesson, we learned the descriptive and explanatory template. In this lesson, we'll move on to a read, then speak template for opinion and advice prompts. These prompts may ask you to state a position or compare options. They may also ask you to analyze a problem and suggest a solution. Begin by giving a yes or no answer, choosing an option, or stating what should be done. Then use the bullet points to add reasons, effects, examples, or solutions. Answer only what the prompt asks. If it does not require a comparison or solution, do not add one on your own. Look at this comparison between working from home and working in a shared workplace. The 4 bullet points ask you to explain the benefits of both options, the risks of each, and finally, which option is better for most workers and why. You can begin with, "If I had to make a choice, I would," to state your choice clearly. Next, borrow the words from the bullet points. One benefit of working from home is, and by contrast, one benefit of a shared workplace is. Keep the 2 options parallel when discussing risks. The main risk of working from home is, and by contrast, one risk of a shared workplace is. Finally, use, "When I compare the 2 options, I think," to state your judgment and explain the reason. The bullet points remain on the screen while you record, so look at the next one after you finish each point. For a comparison prompt, do not pile up reasons at the beginning. State your choice first, then match the benefits and risks of the 2 options point by point. One benefit of and the main risk of introduce the content directly, while by contrast switches to the other option. This covers the bullet points and makes the comparison immediately clear to the listener. Finally, return to your judgment with, "When I compare the 2 options, I think." The goal is not simply to list differences, but to explain why those differences support your choice. After stating a benefit or risk, use in practical terms to connect the abstract judgment to a practical effect. When you need to support your final choice, add one specific situation instead of repeating the earlier reason. If you want to acknowledge a limitation, one sentence is enough. Then use "even so" to return to your original position. Conclude with "on balance" to summarize your judgment after comparing the options. For a problem and advice prompt, structure the response around the problem, a specific action, and why that action would be effective. The order of the response should still follow the bullet points. Here is the complete read, then speak model response for an opinion and advice prompt. If I had to make a choice, I would choose a shared workplace for most workers, although working from home has clear advantages. One benefit of working from home is the time saved by avoiding a daily commute. In practical terms, this can give employees more time for rest or family responsibilities. By contrast, one benefit of a shared workplace is faster communication, because colleagues can ask questions and solve small problems immediately. The main risk of working from home is isolation and weaker boundaries between work and personal life. By contrast, one risk of a shared workplace is frequent interruptions and commuting costs. When I compare the 2 options, I think a shared workplace is better for most workers because regular face-to-face contact supports cooperation and makes it easier for new employees to learn. To give a concrete example, a new team member can observe how colleagues handle a client request and ask for feedback straight away. On balance, remote work offers flexibility, but a shared workplace provides broader support for most workers. This model response states the choice first, then compares the benefits and risks of both options. The final judgment explains why a shared workplace is better for most workers and supports it with a situation in which a new employee can observe colleagues and ask questions immediately. In practical terms, by contrast, to give a concrete example, and on balance, make the response more coherent and provide a buffer while you organize the next step. For a problem and advice prompt, organize the main content around a problem, an action, and a reason the action would be effective, while still answering each bullet point. For more template examples, see the corresponding lesson materials on the DET Coach website. In the next lesson, we'll begin Interactive Speaking 01 and learn about the question type and response process.